can be absolutely very correct tonight because it's a fun night for baseball. And here's Joe to tell you that it is
a beautiful night for baseball. Thank you, Herb. Good evening, everybody. Willie Norwood, right-hand batter, the left fielder, hitting .239, 3 homers, 12 RBIs, 0 for 2 in last night's ball game. Kyle Field coaching at third base, and Tony Oliva at first base. Wind up by Dick Wise with the first pitch of the ball game to Norwood. Wrapped by Bell into the hole and past for Reiser in the left field. Base hit. Well, Norwood punches a single into left field. That is the first hit and the first batter of the ball game. And it brings up the switch-hitting shortstop, Roy Smalley. Smalley to the left side against the right-hander Wise, hitting .252 with 4 homers, 22 RBIs, 0 for 4 in last night's game. From the left side, Smalley hitting .254 with 3 of his 4 home runs. Thornton holding with the runner at first, Kuiper at second, Reiser at short, and Bell at third. Stretch and pitch. Smalley punched it foul back on the screen, strike one. Grubbin left, Manning in center, Dade in right, Happy catching, and Rick Wise on the mound. Dan Ford on deck. Smalley steps back, looks to the third base coach. Willie Norwood leads at first base. Norwood leads this ball club in steals with 14 out of 19. He is very, very quick. Stretch by Wise, and the pitch. High, 1 ball and 1 strike. Bell on the grass at third base, anticipating the bunt. A ball and a strike. The leadoff man Norwood is singled. The ball game underway here at the stadium. Stretch by Wise. Checks the runner. And the 1-1 pitch, time call. Pitch came through, will not count. Count remains at 1-1. Note passed along from Roger and Brian Bache and Mr. and Mrs. Kessler. They tell us that Lance Bache is in the hospital, so Lance gets himself back in fine settle here in the very near future and come on out to the ballpark. 1 ball, 1 strike. Stretch. Throw to first. Back to the bag goes Norwood. Almost flipped off the side. Also have a note here, Herb, from Archie Anderson up in Erie, Pennsylvania. He's listening in, of course, on WLKK up in Erie. And he wants to know something. We'll ask right after this question. There goes Norwood. The ball is lined by Thornton into right field. Base hit. Norwood stopped at second. He didn't know that the ball had been hit, evidently, and he has to hold. He heard the crack of the bat, but he didn't know where the ball went. And of course, that's when an experienced base runner will look to the coach at third base immediately. It was Willie Norwood. Stopped on top of second base and looked all over and never did look at the coach. Oh, yeah. The good base runners also, when they take off on a hit and run, will glance over their left shoulder and see what happens to the ball. Of course, in this case, it was hit behind him and he wouldn't be able to see it anyway. But good base runner would look to the coach. Well, back-to-back hits, and Piper's in to talk to Wise. Anyway, Archie Anderson wants to know what has become of Jimmy Dudley, who, of course, at one time broadcast for the Tribe. And you see Jimmy. Yes, I see Jimmy when we were in Tucson, and Jimmy lives out in Tucson now, and he doesn't look a bit different than he did to me 23 years ago. Jimmy looks great, plays a lot of golf, and he's been doing some work with the University of Arizona, did some broadcasting. He also broadcast some of the Tucson Toros games a few years ago. Well, runners at first and second for the Twins, and nobody out here in the first inning. And Dan Ford, the right-hand batting center fielder, is next, hitting at .306, 6 homers, 31 RBIs, 1 for 4 last night. He drills a foul out of play to the right, strike one. We have a belated birthday we want to mention. Leo Stiebenhaler from Eden, Ohio, celebrated his 36th on June 8th. But Leo didn't get the word until tonight, so we wish you a very happy but somewhat belated birthday. Strike one the count. Ford with that very closed right-hand stance. Here's the pitch to him, and he takes the fastball low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Norwood punched a single to left. Smalley slapped a hit to right. There are runners at first and second with nobody out. Dan Ford, 6'1", 185. No stretch. Look back to second. 1-1 pitch to Ford. He's going to bunt and bounces it foul on the third base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One of them trickled over to the on-deck circle, or in this ballpark, on-deck square. And Mike Cubbage picks it up. 1 ball and 2 strikes. No score, but the Twins trying to put it together early here at the stadium tonight on just a delightful night. 81 degrees, clear skies. And the weatherman says if you like today, you're going to love tomorrow. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wise waiting while Ford steps back at the plate. Now steps back in and plants that right foot at the farthest corner of that right-hand batter's box and closes up his stance severely. The stretch, 1-2 pitch. Outside, 1-12, ball 2 strikes, 2-2. Wise, 3-9 in the year, earned run average 3.69. Lifetime against the Minnesota Twins, he is 4-2. The stretch. Look back. Runner goes. Big slapped up in the air to right field. Dade coming on. Norwood hits the deck. Here's the grab by Dade. Throw back to second base. Double play.
Hey, Willie Norwood, he has good speed, but he hasn't learned to control it yet. At the time the ball was going at the glove of Dade, he was doing a dive through the air to third base.
And on top of that, when he was sailing through the air, third base coach Carl Field was frantically waving him back. 2 outs. Reiser took the throw. Oh, there are now 2 outs and 1 man on at first base. That's Smalley. And the batter is Mike Cubbage. Cubbage, a left-hand batter. 317, 3 homers, 24 RBIs, third baseman. 1 for 2 in last night's game. Wise looks and gets the sign from Happy. Takes the long look, now the stretch. Checks the runner at first base and delivers to Cubbage. Strike 1. Happy changes baseballs with a home plate umpire. Has a little discussion with him. Strike 1 the count. Mike Cubbage at bat. 6 feet even, 180 pounds. Came over to the Twins in the big deal with the Texas Rangers for Bert Blyleven. Came over with Smalley. Here's the stretch. And a pitch. Drive foul upstairs, left side, and the count is strike 2. See, the Jimmy Norris Fan Club is with us tonight. They have a big banner on the upper deck here on the left field side. Notoriously Noble Norris.
Very nice.
2 strikes. The count on Cubbage. Smalley at first, and 2 outs in the first inning. Wise looks in. Nods. Stretches. And throws to first. Smalley back to the bag easily. Top half of the first inning. Cubbage looks down to the third base coach, Carl Field. A stretch. 2-strike pitch. High drive, center field. Manning going back. Still going back. Under the ball. Makes the catch to the side. Is retired. So in the first inning of play, no runs, 2 hits to the man left. At the end of 1/2 inning, the score at the stadium, the Twins nothing, and the Indians are coming to bat.
Seriously, very well. We don't have a whole lot of baseball, hot dogs, and apple pie this time we give away in 9 games, but we do have lots and lots of nice new figures in all models. There's 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive trucks, vans, last room, the best thing we give away has it. And a whole bunch of nice cars, cars, and trucks. Deal where your friends deal. The Host Daniel Chevrolet on 336 South of Mount Vernon. Once again, 6 Course Home. Shows the median helmet at the Westerville 6 Company in the Westerville Mall. We're donors to Humphrey Reed, starring Green, a comedy for you and the next of Kim. The end is rated R. Sylvester Stallone, SIST. This rated TV, one of the year's best. And Henry Winkler, the Farm, and Carl Reiner, the one and only. Rated TV. Now change the Westerville 6 Cinemas to the Westerville Mall. Don't forget to reduce adult and student prices and Twilight Show tickets.
Well, 19 years ago, ago today, June 10th, 1959, the Tribe's Rocky Colavito slammed 4 home runs in 4 at-bats at Baltimore, tying the Major League record. And the fellow sitting in the broadcast booth next to us, Herb Carneal, now the voice of the Twins, was broadcasting the Baltimore games back in those days, and he was on hand when it happened. Telling me tonight that they called, after Rocky hit his first one, they called the station and they said, get it on tape, because he looks like he might really do his business tonight. Well, they forgot to put the tape up, and so it was never recorded.
Well, the funny thing was, that really started Rocky up that night. He went back to get a fly ball in right field, and a fan that had that high wall ball dumped the whole thing of beer on him, and he was so mad, he wanted to crawl up the wall after him. He just took it out on all those 4 pitches that came along. And each home run Rocky hit that night went a little bit further. First one was down the line, the next one was a little bit further out, and then further out, the next one was really gone.
All day, 8-game hitting streak. Batting average up to 296, 3 homers, 15 RBIs. He went 3 for 4 last night with an RBI. Dade has raised his batting average 58 points in the last 8 games, and he takes his strike from the right-hander, Roger Erickson. Dade's had 17 hits in his last 32 at-bats. Takes another strike of an ease, strike 2. Erickson, 6-4. Herb showed you in on his details. They are brief because he has had only a very small amount of pro baseball background. 2 strike pitch to Dade. Fastball a little bit outside, and the count is 1-2.
They tell me he's got a really good fastball and a fine slider. He's been working on a changeup and hasn't really perfected it yet, but he's working on it.
Erickson nods, lines up, 1-2 pitch to Dade. Check swing, and checked in time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He's 6'3", 180 pounds. Lives in Springfield, Illinois. Roger Erickson. 15th start of the year. 2-2 pitch. Bouncing ball over the mound to the shortstop. Smalley has it and throws. Got him. Dade bouncing to the shortstop. 1 away in the first inning. Brings on Dwayne Piper, the second baseman. Dwayne, a left-hand batter at 237, 15 RBIs, went 0 for 3 last night. Erickson won his first 2 big league outings in Seattle and against California. Then he lost his next 3 to Seattle, California, and the White Sox. Then he won his next 4. He lasted only an inning and a third on Wednesday against the White Sox, giving up 7 runs, 4 of them earned, absorbing an 8-3 loss. Fly ball, foul, third base side. The race is on. The ball drops on the warning tap and bounces into the seat.
Erickson went to Springfield College in Illinois and also attended the University of New Orleans at New Orleans.
Roger leads the club in wins, innings pitched, hits, runs, hit batters, wild pitches, walks, and strikeouts. 5-1 on the road. Strike 1 the count on Dwayne Piper. Rocky Colavito coaching at first, Joan Ostic at third. Erickson with 1 out and a strike 1 count on Piper. Looks in the Weiniger for the time. Here's the windup and the pitch, and it is a strike of an ease, strike 2. Cusick at first, Wilfong at second, Smalley at short, and Cubbage at third. Allwood in left, Ford in center, Powell in right. Pitch, Piper takes low and outside, 1-2. This is the first time that Weiniger has caught Erickson. Boardman has done the catching for Erickson until tonight. 1-2 pitch. Line drive, shortstop Smalley. 2 steps to his left, stabs it, 2 out. Buddy Bell, third baseman, hitting .300, 2 homers, 21 RBIs, 1 for 4 last night. Buddy's hit safely in 11 of his last 13 games, tied for 5th in the American League in hits with 61. He was the only Indian to play in all of the Indians' 52 games thus far. This, of course, is his 53rd. Pitch to Buddy is low, ball 1. Twins are 21-33. They've lost their last 4. The Indians are 24-28. They've dropped 4 of their last 5. 1-0 pitch. Buddy wraps it up the middle into center field. Base hit over Wilfong's outstretched glove. Bell singled. And this brings on Andre Thornton. First hit off Erickson. Andy, a right-hand batter at 262, has 9 homers, 31 RBIs, and 1 for 3 last night. He's had 9 hits in his last 25 at bat, and in 7 of his last 8 ball games, he's had at least 1 hit, including 3 doubles and 3 homers. 5th in the American League in slugging with a mark of .530. Johnny Grubb on deck. Stretched by Erickson in the pitch. Andy, line drive to Smalley, the shortstop, to retire the side. So in the first inning, no runs and a hit with a man left. And at the end of 1, the Twins nothing, the Indians nothing.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
It'll be Adams, Weiniger, and Cusick in the second inning against Rick Wise. 5, 6, and 7 in the Minnesota lineup. In night action in the National League, Los Angeles at Montreal, Rick Rhoden against Wayne Twitchell. Dodgers have dropped their last 3 and have dropped 8 of their last 9. And the Expos have won their last 5 and 11 out of their last 14. Atlanta playing in Philadelphia tonight, where the Phillies have won 7 in a row, and the Braves have dropped 7 of their last 9. It is Dick Ruthven for Atlanta and Jim Cott for Philadelphia, and Atlanta scores a run in the first. Nothing yet, where Houston will be in St. Louis a bit later. And there are 3 night games coming later in the American League. Boston at Seattle, Chicago at Texas, and New York at California. While we're talking baseball history, Sonny Siebert on this date, June 10th, 1966, fired a no-hitter right here at the stadium to beat the Washington Senators 2-0. Wise warming up to Hassey, and the throw down to second base as the left-hand batting designated hitter, Glenn Adams, comes to bat. Adams hitting .228, 5 homers, 12 RBIs, 0 for 1 last night. Designated hitters for the Minnesota Twins this year, .251 batting average, 6 homers, 31 RBIs. They're now moving Dade over in right field toward the line. Kuiper back on the edge of the grass at second base. Here's the windup on the first pitch, and Adams takes a strike of an E, strike 1. Wise looks in again. Here's the windup and the strike 1 pitch. Low and outside, a ball and a strike. Wise ready. Winds up. 1-1 pitch. Bounce to the mound, grabbed by Rick. Flips it over to Thornton. 1 out in the second inning. And this brings to bat Butch Weiniger. Switch-hitting catcher going to the left side against the right-handers. Weiniger hitting .248, 2 homers, 17 RBIs, 1 for 3 with an RBI last night. Weiniger from the left side hitting .239. Both of his home runs have come as a left-hand hitter. Twins had leadoff singles by Norwood and Smalley in the first inning, but a double play ball via the outfield snuffed out the rally. Wind up and the pitch, and Weiniger takes low and outside, ball 1. Again, Wise looks in. Here's the 1-0 pitch. High, ball 2, 2-0. Kuiper still stationed back on the edge of the outfield grass. The infield is like concrete, and the ball has really been rocketing through.
Yeah, last night that ball was taking some wicked hops.
2-0 pitch. Fastball, strike of an ease, 2-1.
Hitters don't mind it, but infielders hate it.
Combination of that heavy rain midweek and then allowing the sun to bake dry the infield has really hardened things up. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Tried to hold it, went too far. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rick Wise on the mound. Lipton gets the sign. And here comes the 2-2 pitch to the left-hand batting Butch Weiniger. Fastball outside, full count of 3-2. We're getting a station break to you here just as soon as we can. Wise is all set. He's got the payoff pitch cranked up, and here it comes to Weiniger. High pop-up. Second baseman Kuiper walking over toward the bag and makes the catch. Now let's pause for station identification. This is the Cleveland Indians Baseball Network. Craig Busick, the big first baseman, hitting .216, 1 homer, 14 RBIs, 1 for 3 last night, and he wraps the ball back to the shortstop. Verizor gets it, fires the first. Busick is gone, and so are the Twins. 1, 2, 3. At the end of an inning and a half, Minnesota nothing, Cleveland nothing. Been notified by Bob Quinn, the Indians farm director, that they have signed their number 3 choice in the regular phase of the free agent draft. Mike Taylor, an outfielder, 6'1", 170, down at Central Community College in Columbia, Tennessee. He comes from Lexington, Kentucky, and during the past year, he hit .440 with 9 homers and 51 RBIs at Columbia Community College. So the number 3 selection is signed up. Jimmy Bragan signed him up today. John Grubb comes to bat here in the second inning. His first at bat against the Twins this year, hitting .244, 5 homers, 14 RBIs. Erickson delivers, and Grubb takes the strike 1. Ted Cox on deck. Strike 1 the count. Here's the pitch. Grubb hits a drive down the left field line. It is fading, it is foul, and it is a souvenir. Strike 2. You know, Herb, as the evening goes along, we'll get a chance to talk about our farm club. This is starting to shape up slowly but surely as a strong farm system. There is. 2 strike pitch. Low, 1-2.
Hey, you know, when you go to spring training, I wander over there to the minor league complex almost every day, at least a couple times a week, and look at some of the youngsters. And this year, there's some good-looking young ball players.
Fastball low to Grubb, and the count evens 2-2.
And it's no hard and fast rule that they're all going to make it to the major leagues, but certainly the signs of improvement are there. And you start looking at these kids, and you really see in 2 or 3 years where there's a good chance of getting some of them up there.
Another fastball low to John Grubb, and now a full count of 3-2. Grubb leading off for the home half of the second inning, and there's no score in the ballgame. Sun still shining brightly on the upper deck and right. Wind up, 3-2 pitch to Grubb. John chops the foul. Bounced off the catcher Weiniger. And it is still a 3-2 count. For instance, the latest Pacific Coast League stats show that the Portland Beavers, the Indians AAA club, have 10 men hitting .288 or better. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch to Grubb. John hits a little looper back into the upper deck. Still 3-2. Portland dropped a 4-3 game at Hawaii despite some good pitching by Eric Wilkins, who allowed only 4 hits and 2 runs. One of them earned in 6 2/3 innings. Jack Baker and Dave Rossello each got a pair of hits and 3 at-bats. Baker with an RBI. Here's the windup 3-2 pitch. Grubb takes high, ball 4. Now Johnny Grubb walks to start the second inning of play. First walk given by Erickson, who has now worked 91 innings with 40 strikeouts and 35 walks. Ted Cox, the designated hitter, right-hand batter, hitting .210 with 5 RBIs, 2 for 3 last night with already. Indians designated hitters as a group, .257 with 6 homers and 26 runs batted in. Stretch by Erickson on the pitch. Cox gonna bunt and does foul behind the plate, strike 1. John Grubb returns to first base, keeping an eye on Joe Nasick, the third base coach. Eddie Cox looking down there as well as the signs are being flashed along. Joe Nasick, at one time a coach with the Minnesota Twins. Stretch. And the strike 1 pitch. Cox fouls it back, strike 2. 0-2 count on the right-hand batter.
Think about a fellow who looks young at Erickson when you see him up close. Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's
he looks like he should be about a freshman in high school. Only 21 years old.
Grubb leads at first base. Here's the stretch. The 2-strike pitch. Cox takes low and outside with a fastball, 1-2. Roger Erickson, the man's name. Grubb at first base, inching away to his lead. 1-2 pitch to Teddy. Swing, and he held in time. That was one of those swings. Had he hit the ball, it would have gone in the lake. 2 balls, 2 strikes. But
Umpire Brinkman was asked at first base, and he said no swing.
he put the brakes on it. Yes, we'll take it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The stretch, throw to first. Grubb diving back for the hand tag of the bag. 2-2 count. Erickson digging up the dirt in front of the pitcher's rubber. Dances over to Grubb. 2-2 count on Ted Cox. Here's the stretch. And the 2-2 pitch. High, full count of 3-2. He has kind of a funny delivery, kind of, I don't know whether he slings it or
He has a little bit of a slingshot type delivery.
3 balls and 2 strikes. The stretch, payoff pitch to Teddy Cox. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Grubb to second base, sliding and out. Grubb will argue, but he is out at second base, and it's a double play on the strikeout.
Double play, 2-4 on field.
2-4 with the second baseman Wilfong taking the throw from Weiniger. And that brings to bat Rick Manning. 2 outs and nobody on. Manning at .251, 2 homers, 17 RBIs, 2 for 3 last night with 3 RBIs. First pitch, foul back on the screen, strike 1. Now Manning has hit safely in 7 of his last 8 games, hitting .364 in that span. The pitch to Rick. It's a drive to right center field. Well tagged. Back goes forward. Back. It's over his head up against the fence. Manning racing for second base and standing with a double.
Oh, he really got into that one.
Manning doubles to the fence in center field. The Indians now with 2 base hits. And for Rick Manning, that is his 9th 2 base hit of the year. And it brings up Ron Hassey. Hassey, the left-hand batting catcher, at .209, 2 homers, 9 RBIs. Hassey with his first at-bat in this series right here. Hits are even at 2. The runs are even at none. Erickson the stretch, looks back to Manning. Pitch to Hassey. Foul ball off to the left. That'll be in the chairs. Strike 1. Busick, Wilfong, Smalley, and Cubbage around the Twins infield, first to third, and outfielded Norwood, Ford, and Powell. Here's the stretch. Strike one pitch. Happy, high foul fly again out of play to the left side. And the count is strike two. New load of baseball brought out to home plate by Sam Beach, the ball man. Ron Happy watching as Erickson gets himself squared away on the mound. Manning leads at second base. Erickson nods again. Looks back to Manning, pitch to Happy. Ron hits a high bouncer to the second baseman, Wilfong. Over to first, sides retired. No runs, a hit, a walk, and a man left to the end of 2 innings of play. It is still Minnesota nothing, Cleveland nothing.
He was one of the young Louisiana people. He had been in charge since 50 yards in one. The 1970 Giants managed to bust him. He didn't utilize the best team. It's really the personal approach to handling excitement. The fact that that's the usual own South Island. The most confident in the line is the 78-ball diplomat. A car that fits everyone into the team. And of course, the Dogs are going to an account for themselves. Even though it's 50 yards, 5,100 each man to Edwards. Queen Forest Indian Earthworks to a space museum. You'll find it all in Ohio. And we want to help you see Ohio with a free Colorado tour. For your copy, write the Ohio Historical Society Public Relations Office, I-71 and 17th Avenue, Columbus.
Talking more about those Portland Beavers, the Indians AAA club. Let's see here. Rob Ellis is hitting .386. That's good for second spot in the league. Hugh Yancey is 11th in hitting. Dave Oliver 14th. Portland's team batting average is .315. Second of Albuquerque's .317. Ellis also leads the PCL with 10 homers. Dan Briggs leads with 17 doubles. And Larry Anderson continues to lead the PCL with a 1.98 ERA and 10 saves. The Beavers running second in their division at 28-21. The AA club, Chattanooga, came out with a win last night, as we told you on the scoreboard last night. Tom McGuff threw a 5-hitter, and he is now 6-3 with a 3.13 ERA and 4 complete games at 11 starts. 1-0 Chattanooga over Orlando at Orlando. The Indians A club, Waterloo, split at Twinville at Clinton, losing the first one 9-3, and then coming back for the nightcap 3-0 is John Tyson threw a 4-hitter for the second game win, improving his record to 4-1, winning his 4th straight. Shortstop Jerry Dubzinski pounded a home run and 2 at-bats. Glenn Wett and Lynn Garrett also had RBIs. And Waterloo second in their division at 33-19. So things are looking up down to the farm. Hoskin Powell, the right fielder, left-hand batter, leads off in the third. Takes the first pitch inside, ball 1. Powell is hitting .213, 1 homer, 13 RBIs. This is his first at-bat in this series. Bellin on the grass at third. Here's the windup and the pitch to Powell. He wraps the bouncer back to the shortstop on 2 hops. Grabbed by Verizon, throws to first. Powell is out, 1 down. We have to do a little more on Hoskin Powell. He lives in Pensacola, Florida, 6'1", 180 at Tacoma last year. He hit .326 with 5 homers, 51 RBIs, and watching him motor down to first base, I would say speed may be the thing he's got going for him.
He gets down there pretty good.
Rob Wilfong, second baseman. First at bat against the Indians, hitting .143 on 5 for 35 this year with 1 RBI. Also a left-hand batter. Wind up on the pitch. He looked as though he was going to bunt and get the strike of the knee, strike 1. Now again, the look for the time. Winds up. And the pitch. Strike 2. Wilfong is 6'1", 175. Split the year last year between Tacoma and Minnesota. Hit .325 in Tacoma, hit .246 for the Twins. Here comes the 2-strike pitch to the left-hand batting second baseman. Wise delivers, low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Top of the order, Willie Norwood on deck. Is all set. Winds up. 1-2 pitch to Wilfong. He takes a fastball inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. the top of the third, a ball game that is scoreless at the stadium. Indians won last night's opener, 7-3. Now the 2-2 pitch to Wilfong. Bouncing ball back to Kuiper. Swing down on one knee, grabs it, throws it, got him. 2 outs. Top of the order, Willie Norwood, who had something of an adventure in the first inning. He singled to left field and moved to second base on a single to right field by Smalley when he lost track of the ball and could have easily gone to third. Then on a fly ball to right, he took off like a deer, went to third, dove in as Dade caught the ball and Falk threw back to second base, doubling him up. Oh, his batting average, 5 points better than the first time, now at 244. Pitch to Willie, he takes the fastball at the knees, strike one. Totals are identical. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. Top of the third, 2 outs for the Twins. Wise delivers to Norwood. He takes strike 2. Same pitch, same spot. 0-2 count. Wise ready again. Here's the windup and the 0-2 pitch. Outside, 1-2, not by much. And again, Rick Wise gets the sign from Ron Hassing. The windup and the 1-2 pitch. It is low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Although Wise started at the dugout.
He yelled in. He wanted to know from umpire Ford why it was called a ball.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the third, no score. Now Norwood steps back, and Wise rubs up the baseball. Look for the sign. Here's the windup. 2-2 pitch. Inside of the letters. Full count of 3-2. Willie steps back, has a little chat with Dale Ford, the home plate umpire. Wise all set. 3-2 pitch to Norwood. Low, ball 4. Norwood walks. First walk given up by Wise. Rick has gone now 88 innings. He has struck out 20, make it 39, struck out 39 and walked 24. Royce Smalley slapped a single to right field in the first inning. Batting average up to 256. 2 outs with Norwood at first base, a definite candidate to steal. Here's the stretch. There he goes. The pitch is a strike, the throw, and he is safe at second base with a head-first fly. 15 stolen bases for Norwood. Well, the Indians this year have now had 55 steals in 68 tries against them.
And Willie Norwood is 15 out of 20.
Strike 1 to count on Smalley with Norwood at second base. The stretch. Wise looks back to Norwood. The pitch, and Smalley takes outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. In the top of the third, a game that is scoreless. Smalley with that red 5 on the back of his bright blue Minnesota uniform. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good slider. Wise throws that slider with really good velocity. Doesn't break much. And it just snaps right in on him.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Wise gazes into Haffey for the sign. Norwood leads at second base. Wise checked him. Looks at him again. 1-2 pitch to Smalley. High fly ball to left field. John Grubb cruising back and makes the catch. 5-3 ties. Third inning, no runs, no hits, a walk, and a man left. At the end of 2 1/2 innings of play at the stadium, It is Minnesota nothing and the Indians nothing.
He was one of the Indians, but do it in a charge from 50 yards in front. The 1978 Giants managed in Boston. He didn't need yards in that team. It's really the personal approach to handling second. And I think that's the usual own private island. The most confident Indian fly is the 78-yard diplomat. A car that fits everyone into the team. And of course, the guards the hands and the cross and himself. Even though it's 50 yards, 50 over each man to Edmonds.
Dad, there's a new Ohio scholarship program. One student in every high school is going to get $1,000 a year for 4 years. And at least one college is going to match the state scholarship dollar for dollar.
To find out if you qualify, feel right to today. Upon qualification from this station and this station of University.
Couple of baseball notes. Kenny Holtzman of the New York Yankees is now back to the Chicago Cubs in a deal consummated this afternoon. Cubs will give up a player to be named later. And the Pittsburgh Pirates have optioned Will McEnany to the Columbus Clippers. Leaving the Pirate roster at 24, McEnany appeared in 6 games this year without a decision. Inning 3, Tommy Verizon, the shortstop, number 9 man in the Indians order, and hits the first pitch foul off a check swing, strike 1. Verizon at 240 with 2 RBIs, 0 for 3 last night with a run batted in. It turned out to be the game-winning hit for Tommy, his first of the year. Wind up at Verizon. Out of strike. Tom Verizon. White 21 trimmed in red on the back of his dark blue Indians jersey. Here's the 2-strike pitch to Tommy. Bouncing ball to third. Cubbage in. Grabs the ball. Throws from the grass. Verizon's out. And there's one down in the 3rd inning. Brings the bat to the top of the order. Paul Day. Day bounced to the shortstop of the 1st inning of play. And the baseballs are going to Toronto. June 30th and July 1st, cost for the trip will be $55 for members, $65 for non-members. We'll be staying at the Royal York Hotel in Toronto, and accommodations are for double rooms. Price includes the bus, the room, and 2 game tickets. Tell you more in a moment. Dave, broken bat bouncer to the second baseman, picked up by Will Fong, and he throws him out. 2 down.
Erickson's got a lot of ground balls at him, so it's fastball. He must do some thinking.
Type of the battery, the line drive to the shortstop of the 1st inning. Gets back to the baseball trip. They leave from downtown Cleveland on Friday, June 30th at 9:15. Arrive in Toronto in time for dinner. Go to the game, a 7:30 game. And then they'll have a wine and cheese party back at the hotel. Saturday breakfast, brunch, and lunch. Your leisure, shopping, and then the ball game. Pitch, foul ball back on the screen. Strike 1. They'll be leaving for home after the game, arriving in Cleveland by midnight on July 1st. For information, call 886-4963. 886-4963. The baseball trip to Toronto. Pitch is low to Kiefer. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 outs and nobody out on the home half of the 3rd. Wise and Erickson hooked up in a pitcher's duel here at the stadium. 1-1 pitch to Kiefer. Wayne backs away. The pitch is low and inside. 2-1. Erickson nods. Here comes the 2-1 to Kiefer. Dwayne takes low again. Now 3-1. In case you missed it, affirmed to beat Aladar by nose today to win the Belmont and the Triple Crown. 3-1. Kiefer wraps the ball foul by the first base coach Rocky Calavito, the first baseman Cusick, and it's a full count of 3-2. And what was the name of your horse? Who? Jarbo. Darnson's horse won today, folks.
I was pushing it all away.
Pitch. Low ball 4. That is a walk for Kiefer. Second walk given up by Erickson. On top of that, it was part of the daily double. And those that had the daily double pocketed better than $1,000. I don't want to mention any names, but dinner and drinks after the game will be on Armin Darnson. Runner at first, 2 out.
For a week, they ought to be on him.
That's true. Bell singles to center in the first, up the batting average to 304. Kuiper at first, pitch to Buddy, fastball, strike of the knees, strike 1. Indians play a 2 o'clock game here tomorrow afternoon, and it's off to Chicago and Minnesota before returning to the stadium next weekend for a slugfest with the Brewers. Stretch, I don't want to mention any names, but dinner and drinks after the game will be on the Darnson. Runner at first, 2 out.
For a week, they ought to be on him.
That's true. Bell singles to center in the first, up the batting average to 304. Kuiper at first, pitch to Buddy, fastball, strike of the knees, strike 1. Indians play a 2 o'clock game here tomorrow afternoon, and it's off to Chicago and Minnesota before returning to the stadium next weekend for a slugfest with the Brewers. Stretch, pitch to Bell, low, 1-1.
As 18,000 GE employees will be here tomorrow to help celebrate their 100th anniversary of that company, and they're going to have a big behind-the-fence party. The gates will open at 10:30 for the GE employees.
A ball and a strike with 2 outs in the third inning. Kuiper at first base. And Bell, tired of waiting, steps back. And the weather is supposed to be super. Here's the stretch. Throw to first. Kuiper back for the hand tag of the bag. Ahead of the glove tag by Cusick. Kuiper's still operating, as Herb mentioned before, with that very bad thumb. Has a nerve problem in his thumb. 1-1 pitch. Buddy hits a drive to right field. Back there is Powell, and he makes the catch to retire the side. So in the third inning, no runs, a hit, a walk, and a man left. And at the end of 3 innings of play, the Twins nothing, the Indians nothing.
Get around, folks. Get around. Like the sign says, it's Trader John's Traveling Emporium, the general store on wheels. Trader John's wagon has everything and the best of everything. Just smell this soap, little lady. And for you, sir, hand tools, handguns, and the finest fresh chewing tobacco. That'll be nail pouch chewing tobacco. Oh, the great American tradition. Nail pouch chewing tobacco. Nail pouch was America's first brand of used tobacco. It's even one of the first. That's because nail pouch has its own special one-of-a-kind flavor. But comes from the leading knowledge experience in the way the tobacco is what they want. A clean, fresh taste. It's not too strong. It isn't too sweet. A flavor that really lasts. It's satisfied and all day long. So if you haven't tried nail pouch lately, chew a few packs and taste the nail pouch difference. You'll see why it's become a tradition at your nail pouch. And treat yourself to the best.
This afternoon in baseball, the Giants beat the Mets 2-1 before 51,000 at Shea. Blue with a save for Lavelle. San Diego outscored the Cubs 10-8. Winfield hit a couple of home runs, and Kingman hit his 14th. Cincinnati knocked off Pittsburgh 6-4. Seaver wins his 7th. And in the American League this afternoon, Kansas City 6-3 over Detroit. Leonard now 5-9. It was Milwaukee 5-0 over Toronto as Travers goes the route on a 5-hitter. And Baltimore 1-0 over Oakland. A 3-hit shutout for Jim Palmer, who's now 8-4.
And he now has 50 shutouts for his career and 5 in this season.
How about that? Speaking of shutouts, not to be shut out in inning number 4, here's Herb Score.
Thank you, Joe. Hi again, everybody. It's Ford, Kubich, and Adams coming up against Rick Wise. No score in this game. Each team with 2 hits. Dan Ford flying to right field his first time up, and on that fly ball, they double up a runner at second. Fastball over the outside part of the plate, a strike. Dan Ford with that stance, he's very close. Leans in from the waist. He looks like he's in danger of toppling. Well, he's going to, every once in a while, looks like he's going to fall flat on his face. He really gets overbalanced. Slider off the outside corner, ball 1. He would question him. He looks back at the umpire on a close pitch on the outside corner whether or not he can see it because he is so far from home plate. 1-1 pitch. Line shot. Backhanded by Kuiper. Dives. He gets up. He throws. Gets him. Wayne Kuiper diving to his right. Backhanded the ball. Bounced up and threw him out. Oh, you talk about somebody that can play second base. Call name of Kuiper. you're down here at the ballpark, cast your All-Star ballot, because the only way you're going to get Kuiper on an All-Star team is just flood the ballot box. I put out the totals yesterday and first report of the balloting, and Kuiper, I think, was fourth, but he's distant fourth, and of course you're battling a fellow like Willie Randolph in New York where they draw a lot of people. And when you come to this ballpark, you really got to jam that ballot box full.
Randolph first, Remy second, Grich third, Kuiper fourth.
Well, you look at Remy, he's playing in Boston where they have a huge turnout of people, and they just vote for their favorite player. Standing in is Mike Covett. He flies deep to center field his first time up, and he looks at a curveball that's outside, ball one. Covett, the left-hand batter. He has a slightly closed stance, but he's up closer to home plate than Dan Ford was. Fastball pops it over the outside part of the plate, a strike, 1-1. Gesundheit. Ball one and a strike. Outfield playing Covett straight away. On deck is left-hand hitting Glenn Adams, the DH. Changeup is hit for the first baseman, Andre Thornton. It's a soft line drive. Andre, a half a step to his right, picked it off. 2 men out in the fourth inning, and the batter Glenn Adams. Adams tapped one right back to the mound his first time up. Indians have 2 hits, the Twins have 2, and that's the total story of the game. No runs. And it's been an errorless ball game. Wind up the pitch. Fastball high. Adams with a spread stance holds his hands very high. Batting average, .226. Inside with a slider, 2 balls, no strikes. Tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock. Indians right back here against the Twins. Get a chance to watch Gary Serum work for the Twins. Don Hood will go for the Triad. Ground ball, sharp hit to the shortstop. 2 bounces, grabbed by Verizon, throws and gets him. 1, 2, 3. That is all for the Twins in the fourth inning. Nothing across. We go to the Indian half of the fourth to score. Cleveland nothing and Minnesota nothing.
No matter what you do, no matter when or where, you know I've loved so good, it's like a That's right. Nothing over that special time you call yours like the cool stuff. It's not right.
We go now to the last half of the fourth inning. For the Tribe, it'll be Thornton, Grubb, and Cox. It's a scoreless battle. Andre, his first time up, ripped a line drive, but right at the shortstop. Andre with 9 home runs, 31 runs batted in, and a batting average at the start of the game at .262. He's down around .260. We'll check it, and the scoreboard puts up the batting average. Scoreboard really working beautifully now. They have animation and really clever cartoons they run through there. Andre Thornton, batting average right at .260. Wind up and the pitch. Erickson with a fastball and a strike, waist high, right through the middle. Erickson, tall, skinny right-hander, 6'3", 180 pounds. Foul back on the screen. He does not get a lot of help from his body. He's really an arm thrower. A little slingshot motion. Good fastball, good sliders demonstrated thus far. 2 strikes on Thornton. High pop. Catcher winding, can't find it. Here comes Cusick in. Here comes the pitcher, and Erickson takes it. And Erickson was in mortal danger. Cusick is about 220 pounds, and he narrowly missed running him down. Weininger just couldn't find the ball. He knew it was up there somewhere. He was standing behind home plate with his hands in his side, and he just didn't know where it was. Erickson came running down. Cusick came in, and Erickson grabbed it. 1 out in the 4th inning. It's a time of night where getting on the Gusk side and lose that ball very easily. Johnny Grubb stands in. He walked his first time, and he takes the ball low. Line drive, left field. There's the left fielder, Willie Norwood, in position. He puts it away. 2 up, 2 down for the Indians in the 4th inning. We'll see Teddy Cox. Ted struck out his first time up. Ted, the designated hitter in this game for the Indians. Ted had a pair of base hits in last night's game. Last night's game he played left field. Cox with a slightly close stance and feet close together. Slider missed outside, ball 1. Indians nothing, the Twins nothing. We're in the 4th inning. Fastball at the knees, a strike. Ball 1, strike 1. On deck, Rick Manning. Erickson says just to the side and throws. Slider's foul off to the right, will sail back and reach the upper deck. I beg your pardon, will not reach the lower deck. Just miss it and sail downstairs. Ball 1, strike 2. Looping fly ball right side. First baseman Cusick back to the edge of the outfield grass. He makes the catch. And the Indians are out in order. 1, 2, 3, nothing across in the 4th inning. We have played 4 full innings in the stadium. The score, Minnesota nothing and Cleveland nothing.
Stand by engine room. Stand by engine room. Taking gangway, single up all lines.
Taking gangway, single up all lines.
Slow stern.
Low stern, Captain.
Let's take over, mate. Let's get on down with it. Hi, Captain. I'd like to try some of my mail pouch tobacco, Cap. Came aboard with the mail is really good. Don't mind if I do. All of a great American tradition. Mail pouch chewing tobacco. Mail pouch with America's taste friend against tobacco. It's even none of the taste. That's because mail pouch has its own special one-of-a-kind flavor. A taste from the Native American experience in giving tobacco chewers what they want. A clean, fresh taste. It's not too strong, but isn't too sweet either. A flavor that really lasts. It's satisfies the man all day long. If you haven't tried mail pouch lately, chew a few packs. The taste of mail pouch different. You'll see why it's become a tradition to chew mail pouch and treat yourself to the best.
5th inning for Minnesota. Weininger, Cusick, and Powell coming up against the right-hander Rick Wise. Wise has allowed 2 base hits. They were the first 2 batters he faced in the ballgame. Rick has walked 1. He hasn't struck anybody out. Butch Weininger popped to the second baseman his only time up. Indians tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock. Minnesota Twins, and then the Indians go to Chicago, play Monday and Tuesday nights at Chicago. They'll be in Minnesota next Wednesday and Thursday night. And then the Indians will come back to the stadium next weekend. And next weekend, the Indians will be taking on the Milwaukee Brewers in a 3-day series, totaling 4 games. Next Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and then a doubleheader on Sunday. And next Sunday, Jersey Day, so make some plans to be with us. Standing in, the split-hitting catcher, Butch Weininger. He'll bat left-handed. Wind up and the pitch. Fastball, a strike at the knees. Wind up by the right-hander. Delivers a slider, it's fouled back and goes in the broadcast booth next door. Hope everybody's okay. I heard that ball rattling around. Don't hear any gasps over there, so I guess they're all okay. 2 strikes. Weininger with a batting average of .247. He's hit 2 home runs, 17 RBIs. And the pitch. Fastball just missed off the outside corner, right down near the knees. That was a good fastball. On deck, big Craig Cusick. Fastball, this one sails above the letters. 2-2. Rocky Colavito with the walkie-talkie communicating up to the press box to Wayne Garland. Ball 2, strike 2. Slider just a bit inside. 3-2. Herb Carneal peeking his head around the corner. He's all on one piece. He is the broadcaster for the Minnesota Twins. 3-2 pitch. Check swing, a slow ball 4. Rick Wise walks Butch Weininger. That is the second base on balls allowed by Rick. And the bat is Craig Cusick, who chopped the ground ball to the shortstop his first time up. Now Buddy Bell into a visit on the mound, or off to the left side of the mound, really. Rick Wise is then on base, a very deliberate worker. But he is not the kind of fellow who does a lot of walking around on the mound. He gets right back up on top and ready to go. The pitch, then a bunt. Strike over the inside corner. Cusick, I'm not sure whether that was called for bunting at the ball or because the ball was over. Cusick got the bat out there, and he didn't really make a bunt effort at it, but just held the bat over the plate. Strike 1. Rick Wise with that rosin sack on the grass back of the mound. He rarely goes to it. Next pitch, a bunt try. This one is missed, and strike 2. Cusick a little bit unhappy with himself, walks out of the batter's box and stomps around. 2 strikes, nobody out, 5th inning, scoreless game, the Twins and the Indians. Indians with a pair of hits, the Twins have 2. Wise has walked 2, Erickson has walked 2, so it's a very, very even game to this point. On deck is Powell. 2-strike pitch. Strike 3, no, it's out of the glove of Hasse. The ball was over the outside corner. Cusick didn't swing at it, but it hit the bat, hit the glove, and dropped to the ground. Umpire signaling that the ball had hit the bat. Scoreboard put up a ball, and Hasse checking with the umpire. He said, nope, it's 2 strikes and the ball. The ball did hit the bat. Rick Wise gives a look to the runner. Slide and miss, blown away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Indians with a team batting average of .255. The Twins team batting average of .269. They have hit well. Earned run average is the pitching staff, 405 for the Twins, 413 for the Indians. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fastball on the inside part of the plate down near the knees. Cusick is a strikeout victim, the first for Rick Wise. Man out, man on in the 5th, and Haskins Powell will come along. Left-hand batter with pretty good speed. Powell, first time up, rounded the short and hit the ball hard, and he still made it a close play at first. Haskins Powell, stands 6'1", about 180 pounds. Weininger at first. The pitch. Fastball is low. Ball 1. Butch Weininger steps off to a very short lead. 1 gone in the 5th. No score in this game. Curveball is bounced foul over near the Indian dugout. Will roll into the Indian dugout. 1 strike. Bob Randall, the second baseman for the Minnesota Twins, who played second last night, celebrating a birthday tonight. He's 30 years old. It'd be nice to be 30. Seems like a long time ago. 1 strike.
It was.
You're right. And the pitch. High and outside. Pitch out. Runner not going. 2 balls and a strike. Wise. Taking a little extra time. Gets the sign from Ron Hassey. Buddy Bell just back at the cut of the grass at third. 2-1 pitch is a fly ball right field. Coming hard is Day. Can't get it. Base hit. And at second base and holding is Weiniger. Little looping fly ball off the end of the bat. Dropped in front of Dade, and that is the first hit for the Twins since the first inning. Their third hit totally. Runners at first and at second with the man out. And the second baseman, Rob Wilfong, left-hand batter. Wilfong grounded out to the second baseman his first time up. We are in inning number 5. Indians. And the Twins are scoreless. The Twins, however, knocking on the door. And Rick Wise will try and slam that door. Fastball is up too high, ball 1. Paul Keel coaching at third. He's shouting something out to Butch Weiniger. Verizon shaded toward the bag, holding him close. Ball 1 pitch. Fastball at the knees, strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. On the first base side is Tony Oliva coaching for the Minnesota Twins. Talk about a fellow that could hit that baseball. Before he had the knee injury, he was just about as good a hitter as you'll find anywhere. 1 ball and a strike. Swing and a miss on the fastball, blew it right by him. Strike 2. 1 man out. At first base, it's Powell. He singled. Runner at second is Weiniger. He opened the inning with a walk. And in between, Cusick struck out. Check on the runners and the pitch. Missed outside with a fastball down around the knees. 2-2. Wilfong's batting average at 139. He has only been in 20 previous games and had batted just 35 times going into this one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Up too high, 3-2, full count. Wilfong backs away, looking at the third base coach. Nothing they can tell him. It's going to help him at home plate right now because he's got a full count, but he wants to know whether or not the runners are going. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Check to the runners. They're not going. Pitch is low, ball 4, and that loads them up. Rick Wise with the second walk of the inning, his third of the game, and the base is loaded. Here comes Jeff Torborg, and the bullpen will get busy. It's going to be Dennis Kenney, the left-hander, up and starting the throw. Jeff Torborg out for a meeting with Rick Wise. Talk the situation over. And Dennis Kenney firing away in the bullpen. Top of the batting order, Willie Norwood. Willie has been on base twice. He has singled, and he has walked and stolen a base. He's a right-hand batter. Willie Norwood standing at home plate, taking a few practice swings as out to the mound goes the umpire Ford. He'll talk things over with Jeff Torborg and say, let's move things along. Willie Norwood stands in. Norwood, right-hand batter with good speed. And what the Indians would like now is a double play. Slightly close stance for Norwood. Keeping the batter's box. Out of the windup wide. Slider missed outside, ball 1. No place to put him. Bases loaded. They're punching him up the middle with Kuiper and Verizon shaded toward the bag. Ball 1 pitch is a fly ball down the right field line. That could be big trouble. Racing over his day. Still going. Can't get to it. One run in. Here comes the second one in. Racing for third, and he'll make it easily. Is Wilfine. Now he falls down, rounding third to throw back that way. He is safe. The throw coming in from the outfield to Hassey. Hassey smothered the ball in front of the home plate and slipped and fell. Wilfine, rounding third base, slipped and fell, and he was crawling on his hands and knees back. Hassey's throw was just out of time. So an opposite field double by Norwood chases home 2 runs. And the Twins have broken the deadlock. It's the Twins 2, the Indians nothing. It was one of those little slicing drives down the right field line. Paul Dade gave it a great effort. But as he was moving toward the ball, that ball kept slicing away toward the foul line. Still only 1 man out. Runners at second and at third, and here's Roy Smalley. Well, Norwood is 13th and 14th RBIs. Rick Wise will work from the set position. Runners at second and at third. The Indians bring the infield in. Pitch. Smalley takes it outside the ball. He's single to right and he's fly to left. Batting average stands at 255. A switch batter batting left-handed. Dennis Kinney still throwing in the Indian bullpen. Now they're going to put him on. Massey looking to the dugout. Jeff Torborg shouting out. Says, put him on, load him up, and let's set up a double play. So Smalley will get the free ticket. That will be the third walk in this inning issued by Wise and the fourth in the ball game. And for the second time in this inning, the bases will be loaded. And we'll take a look at Dan Ford as the fourth wide one's delivered. Smalley gets to walk. Dan Ford has led Donut off the barrel of the bat now, and he will apply the pine tar and the rosin to the handle as he gets ready to come up the home plate. Ford flied to right and grounded to second. Bases full of Twins. 1 man out. We are in the fifth, and the Twins have scored the first 2 runs of the game. Rick Wise looks in for the sign. Ford steps deep into the batter's box. Very close stance, and he's back as far from home plate as you legally can get. If he gets any deeper, he'll have 1 foot in the on-deck position. Bases full. Wind up, and the pitch by Wise. Slider over the outside corner, strike. One strike. Rick Wise goes to the windup, and he delivers. Inside with a fastball. He started to go and checked the swing on a fastball up around the letters. 1 ball, 1 strike. The on-deck bat is Mike Kovich. Indians looking for the double play ball. 1-1 pitch. Fastball, knee-high, strikes over the outside corner. Again, Ford unhappy with the call. Very truthfully, I would think it would be very difficult for him to really have a good look at that outside corner. He's so far away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rick Wise winds it up, and here it comes. Slider just a bit off that outside corner, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Two pitch. Fastball outside, 3-2. Rick Wise with the bases full. Only 1 man out. And the Twins picking up 2 in this inning, lead 2-0. They had a bases loaded situation where Norwood doubled to the opposite field. 3-2 pitch. Ground ball, shortstop side, backhanded by Verizon, goes to second. They get 1 and no play at first. Run scores. Verizon had to go to his right, grabbed the ball and throw back to Kuiper. Kuiper took the ball on a short hop, and he had no chance for the throw to first base, so it'll be a fielder's choice, 6-4 on the out. And in the score comes Wilfong. That'll be a run batted in for Ford, his 32nd. And the Minnesota Twins lead 3-0 with runners at first and at third and 2 men out. It'll be Mike Kupich, the left-hand hitting third baseman. He is the 8th man to bat in this inning. Ford at first, Norwood at third, and Wise will work from the set position. We'll keep our eye on Dan Ford. The pitch to Kupich is a fastball at the letters a strike. Kupich 0 for 2 in the game. Ford, the runner at first, has stolen 3 bases. He's been caught 3 times. One strike pitch. Outside with a fastball down around the knees, and Wise not happy with the call by umpire Ford. He thought he had a strike. One ball, one strike. Check on the runners. There goes the pitch, a looping foul overhead, out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dan Ford made a bluff to second, but held up. Rick Wise looks into Hassey. Hassey shouts something to him, and Rick points to first base and nods his head. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hassey apparently telling him to watch the runner. Willie Norwood at third, and now a time call as Buddy Bell wants to go in and have a chat. Indians trailing 3-0. We are in inning number 5, and the Twins have done all the damage right here in this inning. In the bullpen, we still have Dennis Kinney doing some throwing. At the moment, however, he has stopped and just looking at the action because he's ready if they need him. Meeting has broken up. Back to home plate comes Hassey. To third base goes Buddy Bell. Ball 1, strike 2. Kupich with a batting average of .312. Wise delivers, and the pitch is swung on a miss. Strike 3. Got over the slider. Minnesota Twins send 8 men to the plate in the 5th inning, and they come up with 3 runs. They do it on only 2 base hits, but there were 3 walks in the inning, no Indian errors, 2 men left. And at the middle of the 5th, the score, Twins 3, Indians nothing. The 5th inning for the Indians, and they have some work to do. They trail 3-0. We'll take a look as Manning, Hassey, and Mariza come up against the young right-hander Roger Erickson. Roger Erickson has been tough. He gave up a 1st inning single with 2 men out to Buddy Bell. He gave up a 2nd inning double with 2 men out to Rick Manning, and that has been the extent of the Indian offense thus far. He's also walked a pair. First batter standing in this inning is Rick Manning. And gets ball 1 too low. Next pitch is too high. 2-0. Rick Manning doubled up the alley in right center field his first time up. Coming up on station break time, so stand by along the line. Outside, it's 3-0. They are straight away in the outfield for Manning. In fact, they're punching him a little bit in the middle, giving him the foul line. 3-0 pitches right through the middle of strike. Three balls, one strike. The windup. Line drive down the left field line. It's going to be trouble. Bounces all the way to the corner. Around first, Manning into second. He'll make it with a stand-up double. Willie Norwood hustling the ball back to the infield. Rick Manning gets his second double. This one down the left field line. They had him played off the line. And Rick Manning drove one down the left field line. Willie Norwood gave chase. It took a bounce just short of the track and went right into the corner. Manning with a pair of doubles gets the Indians' third hit, and here's Ron Hasse. And on the mound, the manager, Gene Mock. He's going to have a talk with young Mr. Erickson, also with Butch Leininger. Gene Mock, a very classy gentleman. He's a fine manager. He's a great student of the game. As a ball player, he was an infielder, and he lacked some size, but he was a fiery little guy. And as a manager, he's retained the fire, and he's also come up with some great understanding of young ball players. Here's Ron Hasse. First pitch to him. Fly ball left center field. Over is Willie Norwood. Left fielder's there. He makes the catch. Holding at second is Manning. Hasse on the first pitch flies to left center field. One man down, and here's Tommy Verizon. Tommy has bounced through shortstop his only time up. Verizon batting at .237. Tommy had the game-winning hit last night, sacrifice fly. You could say the game-winning RBI. Ground ball up the middle near second base. Picked up by Smalley. He throws high throw, but grabbed by Cusick. 6-3 on the out. Over to third goes Manning. And with two men down, the top of the batting order, Paul Dade. Well, last night, Paul wrapped out 3 base hits. He has an 8-game hitting streak on the line. He's over 2 tonight. Manning at third. The Indians trail 3-0. We are in inning number 6. I beg your pardon, inning number 5. Getting ahead of myself. Erickson, the right-hander, throws a fastball that's over but low. Ball 1. Paul Day deep in the batter's box, a slightly closed hand. Inside with a fastball, 2 balls, no strikes. The on-deck batter is Dwayne Kuiper. Rick Manning, with his second double of the game, has moved to third on a ground ball. And he was hoping to score. Line drive, right field, a base hit. All day. Gets the Indians their first run. Manning scores at 3-1. And for Dade, his 16th RBI. Oh, he really hit that ball well. It's like a slider moving away on him, and he just went right with it. Lined it in the right. Dade leads the Indians in stolen bases. He has 9 of them in 15 tries. Time called. Leininger going to the mound. And let's pause for station identification. This is the Cleveland Indians Baseball Network.
This is 3 seconds today. Regular milestone. The Cleveland family is Browns and Indians. WWJ Johnstown.
Standing in, Dwayne Kuiper. Erickson was set to go and then backed off again. For the first, Dade dives back and he just gets there. Close play. Dade scrambling to his feet, dusting himself off. He gets time. Paul had an embarrassing experience earlier this year. And diving back was safe, and and getting up to dust himself off, stepped off the base. Unfortunately, the first baseman did not return the ball to the pitcher. First baseman says, "Look what I have." And Babe was out. Paul made sure he called time. Jeff Strawborg went up for a visit at home plate. I don't know what that was all about. Probably the motion of the pitcher. So to first, back safely. Paul Dade with a 9-game hitting streak on at first. Scoreboard informing the fans here of that fact. Pitch to Kuiper, a swing and a miss on a fastball down around the knees, strike one. Twins 3 and the Indians 1. The hits evened up at 4. Go to first, a dive, and back safely again. Tomorrow afternoon, Don Hood goes for the Indians against Gary Serum. Line drive, left field, base hit. Over to cut the ball off is Willie Norwood. Holding at second base, Paul Dade. Wayne Kuiper lining a single to left. And the Indians stirring it up here in the 5th. 2 men out. They have runners at first and at second, and Buddy Bell at the plate. That's hit number 5 for the Indians in the 3rd one in this inning. Here's Buddy. Mike Marshall trotting down to the bullpen. Let's see if he's going to start throwing. Pitch to Buddy. Swing and a miss. Fastball down around the knees. Strike. Dade at second. Kuiper leads away at first. Pitch to Buddy. A slider, and he gets it over the inside corner. Bell tie. Erickson out in front quickly, 2 strikes. Buddy in the game has single to right and fly to right. Batting average at .302. Time call as Buddy backs away. Indians have now out-hit the Twins 5-4. Twins, however.
Marshall is starting to throw.
Down ball up the middle. Near second base is Small. He has it. Steps on the bag. The side retired. When Buddy hits the ground ball to the shortstop, Smalley took 2 steps and stepped on second base to force Kuiper. In the inning, the Indians get a run. 3 hits, so no errors. They leave a pair. And at the end of 5, the score. The Twins 3, the Indians 1.
You know, listening to Major League Baseball on 3WJ is a great way to follow the national pastime. But to really appreciate the game and the players' talents, at least once in a while, we should see a game in person. Most of us at 3WJ would like you to see the exciting Cleveland Indians on us during our Tribe Ticket Giveaway. All you have to do is send us your name, address, and phone number. And every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday during the noon news, we'll draw a name to win 2 tickets to an Indians home game of your choice. If your name is drawn, your tickets sent to the mail that same day. And we won't stick you out in the left field bleachers, but in box seats, so you'll be right next to the action. The winner sends your name, address, and phone number on a postcard or letter to Tribe Tickets. 3WJ, P.O. Box 373, Johnstown, Ohio, 43031. Again, that's Tribe Tickets, P.O. Box 373, Johnstown, Ohio, 43031. To win 2 box seat tickets to a Cleveland Indians baseball game of your choice. Entries are limited to 1 per week, so enter today and let 3WJ take you out to the ball game.
Now we go into inning number 6, and it's a 3-1 game with the Twins leading. For Minnesota, we'll take a look at Adams, Weiniger, and Cusick. Adams, the only man that didn't bat in the 5th for the Twins when they sent 8 men to the plate, scoring 3 times. Fellow sitting down on the third base side of home plate. One of the really nice people that I have come across in the world of baseball, and that's Big Luke Easter. Luke is not only was a fine ball player, a really fine man. And he comes almost every home game of the Indians, buys season tickets, sits down and watches the Tribe. He loves the game of baseball. And the thing about Luke Easter that I recall so vividly was how kind he was to me as a young ball player. And he's not changed any, because I see him sitting down talking to the youngsters back at the dugout almost every day. And I think our community is really lucky to have a fellow like Luke Easter around. And he has not really lost his enthusiasm. And you talk about nice people, that's Luke Easter. Standing in will be Glenn Adams. He is 0 for 2. A bouncing ball to the mound, a ground ball to the shortstop. Left-hand batter takes the first pitch. The curve is high, ball one. Fastball over the outside corner, strike, 1-1. One pitch. The fly throws it a line drive to center field. Manning a few steps to his left, puts it away. One up, one down as Ford lines out to center field. That'll bring along Mike Tubbett. Tubbett. That's out swinging in the first inning. I beg your pardon. I get the silver foul up there. Maybe put Leininger has walked. He has popped up. Leininger walked to open the fifth inning, and that started the flood. Slider over the glove, ball one. That fifth inning, he walked to Leininger. Cusick struck out. Then Powell singled, and Wilfong walked to load him up. Norwood drove in a run, 2 runs with a double down the right side. Then after an intentional walk, Ford grounded out driving the run. So the team picks up to a 3. Inside and high with a slider, 2-0. Good Leininger, good hitter, batting left-handed. 2-0 pitch, swings and pops up, shallow center field. Out goes Keifer, on comes Manning. Manning waiting, and he makes the grab. 2 up, 2 down on fly balls to center field. We're in the 6th. The Indians trail 3-1. First baseman is Craig Cusick. If you're wondering, when you're just tuning in, you didn't hear the game last night or early part of this game. Rod Tour is out of the lineup with a bad right elbow. He has a nerve problem in his right elbow. He also has some severe blisters on his right hand. So they're giving him the 2 days off. Inside, corner, strike up and easy with a fastball. Swings on a road trip, and earlier on this road trip, they sent Drew back to Minnesota to be examined by the doctors, and he missed a couple of days. Some kind of nerve problem in his right elbow. Slider on away. 1 ball, 1 strike. He played a few games coming back with Drew Maxwell into it. Rod was really in pain, and he sort of like Rod Carew. And he just hate to have him there when he's not right. There's a curve over the outside corner, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Finland down, 6th inning. Rick Wise working on right-handed Craig Cusick. 1-2 pitch. Slider missed outside, 2-3. Rick has walked 4, struck out 2 in this ball game, and he's been touched for 4 base hits. Indian right-hander winds it up, deep delivery. Line drive, left field, foul base hit. Looks like an ultimate change-up. Cusick don't prove on it, lines it to left. Hit number 5 from Minnesota was coming out in the 6th inning. Austin Powell. He has down at the short, and he has single to right. Left-hand batter. Rick Wise taking some extra time without getting a sign. On deck batter will be Wilfong. Fastball is inside, ball 1. Austin Powell backs away, pitch to the third base coach, Paul Field. Pitch to the runner at first, here's the pitch. Foul back off to the left and on a play. The souvenir for the fans on the lower deck, right side of the screen. 1 ball and a strike. Tony Serenilla, the Indian Youth Sale Department, stopping by. Tony will be visiting tomorrow. He's been part of that big promotion with TV. We have over 18,000 coming. 1 ball and a strike. Just to the runner at first. Here's Wise's delivery. Bouncy ball past the 9, coming on his Keifer. He's watching the hot to hurry. He goes and just gets him. Oh, that young man can get down the line in a hurry. Good thing, no runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left in Minnesota. We go to the last half of the 6th to score. Twins 3, Indians 1.
All the hits conceded by is Bo Smith of Bo Smith Ford. And that is right. Only the rich can afford to buy also, because the real Ford money and the new Ford car or truck, we have a very fine collection of used Ford also for time. We need more used Ford, so if you do have a used car or especially a used truck on the road, go on over to us, because we do make very cheap Ford, also between Columbus and Livingston. This car driver. This car driver. This car driver. Officials out there say they do every day, and they always limit the protection. Motorcycle riders are told too. That's why they will limit. They don't let a holiday take them out of the action. The manufacturers in the motorcycle system, they say a fire department highway system, Columbus, Ohio, 43205. We're going out of the last half of the sixth with Scott and Grubb and Cox. The Indians trailing by 2, 3-1. Andre in the game has lined out to the shortstop. He looked at a pop-up over the home plate area. It came down just in front of home plate. The catcher wanted to get another shot, but fortunately for the Twins, Harrison was pitched good and he caught it. Harrison waiting while they moved the center fielder deeper and a little bit to the left of center. Andre Thornton right about the center of the batter's box. Long drive left field, side base hit for Andre. He hit first and he'll hang on. The Indians open the sixth for the base hit. That's 6 hits for the Indians. And brings up Johnny Grubb. He has walked and fly to left. Also brings up the Minnesota bullpen. Mike Marshall was up last inning. And he was up again. Right into Mike Marshall. Pitch to Grubb, a long drive, right field, back goes foul. That's the third to reach the third home run. Holding. His home run number 6, and he puts the Indians back into a tie. 2-run home run for Grubb. His 6th home run of the year, his 15th and 16 RBIs. That ball carried over the 385 side, and the Indians have tied this game to 3. Pitch to Cox, he fouls it back. Well, young Mr. Harrison has made 2 pitches in this inning, a line single to Thornton. And a long home run over the right center field fence to Johnny Grubb. That's the 6th home run that he's yielded this year and the 40th by the Twins staff. Front try by Cox, who fouls it back to the screen. Strike 2. Indians get their 7th hit and their 3rd run, and we're back even, 3-3. Last half of the 6th and nobody out. Good shot on him tonight, and that drive really kept them up. Fly ball, right field, coming on his power, still coming, can't go to the base hit. A looping single to right field. Powell broke back on the ball, and then even with his good speed coming in, couldn't get to it. Second baseman Wilfong racing out, and he couldn't reach it. So 3 straight hits here in the 6th inning. With nobody out, it's Rick Manning, and he has had 2 for 2 in this game. A double to the base of the wall in right center, and a double down the left field line. Rick Manning had it up to 260, and I think that might be as high as he has been this year. And Gene Mack is heading to the mound, and he is walking rather slowly. He is also looking to the bullpen, and he points that way. He says, "Jimmy Marshall." So Roger Harrison, the 21-year-old right-hander, is gone in the 6th. He failed to retire anybody in the 6th inning. He is charged with 5 innings of work, plus the 3 batters there in the 6th. He allowed 8 hits, walked a pair, and struck out 1. He cannot be the winner in this game. He could be the loser, depending on what happens if his runners on base. And Mike Marshall running in from the bullpen. We'll be back, and we'll tell you about Mike after we pause for this message. vegetable hands on land in the Midwestern. This is Bill Smith, and I'm talking about the collection of new food, of Bullshit food, and each appearance on Drug Street. We have a fine selection, and we'll save you money on a new food aired by the Bullshit Bullshit cover. Plus, we'll offer on-the-spot financing and of all price. The Bullshit food on Drug Street, wholesale between Columbus and Newark. Once again, 614, Palace is playing the Westerville 6 Cinema in the Westerville Mall. Jimmy Osmond stars have a great role-rated TV. Billy Fonda and Jerry Lee get together for some high-stepping, high-balling. High-balling is rated TV. Big Reynolds and Jackie Wilson one of the world's best. Smokey and the Bandit. All now playing the Westerville 6 Cinemas in the Westerville Mall. With reduced rent and 30 cents, the Twilight Sun ticket. From Big City, at the Westerville 6 Cinemas.
Mike Marshall coming on the right-hander, 5'10", 180 pounds from East Lansing, Michigan. Last year worked with both the Dodgers and Atlanta. A total of 54 games, a composite 6-win, 4-loss mark, and an earned run average of 4. This year with the Twins, he's making his 13th appearance, covering 19 and 2/3 innings, 11 hits, 6 runs all innings, struck out 19 in 19 and 2/3 innings with the 9 walks. He has 7 saves, a 1-loss record of 1-3, and an earned run average of 2.75. Heard the last time we saw Marshall, he was involved in a 1-0 win for the Texas Rangers over the Indians a couple of years ago.
That's right. Mike Marshall has made more appearances in 1 year than in the history of the game. What was it, 106 he had with the Dodgers that year?
Yes.
Marshall goes to that Stanford Rising, gives it a squeeze, flips it down, and he looks in for the sign and to face Rick Manning. Indians are tied at 3 here in the 6th. They have a runner at first and nobody out. Third baseman Tibbetts comes down the grass. They're looking for the bunt. Marshall with a good screwball. Fastball is bunted at missed. Nope, umpire still got a piece of it. Off to the right of home plate. Bounced off the catcher's chest protector. Strike one. Marshall pretty good fastball and slider. But he has a dandy screwball. He's one of the first right-handers to really make use of the screwball. For years, it was left-handers that threw the screwball, and for some reason, right-handers didn't throw it very often. Now we see a lot of them doing it. Marshall has some rather innovative ideas on conditioning and all. He's been successful. Screwball missed outside. 1 ball and a strike. He has his master's degree, and what he had in kinesiology, right. He was the Dodgers. He pitched in 106 games. He said he could throw every day. It didn't make any difference. 1 ball and a strike. A bunt fly. Back to the mound on the fly. Grabbed by Marshall. Throws to first, and out of first base is Pat. First baseman and the second baseman vying to see who was going to take the throw. And finally Cusick took it, and he made a swipe at Pat coming back and got him. So the bunt fly by Manning is a little tap back to the mound on the fly. And then the throw to first base and a double play. So Timmer out and Ron Hackey. That will take Erickson out of any decision in this game. His totals are now a complete 5 innings, 3 runs, 8 hits. There's Ron Hackey. Looks at the curve, it stays outside, ball 1. Mike Marshall, a 35-year-old right-hander. Ball 1. Wind up, right-hander throws. Swinging a foul on the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mike Marshall in relief of Roger Erickson. We have a tie game at 3 in the 6th. Curveball bounces back to the screen. Ball 2 and a strike. Haffey 0 for 2 in the game. Batting average stands at .203.
Haffey had the last home run for the Indians prior to the John Grubb homer. That came in the second game of the doubleheader last Sunday in Milwaukee.
Johnny Grubb's homer with the man on this inning is tied it. Through ball over the outside part of the plate. Strike 2, 2-2. Both bullpens are quiet. The Indians have 8 hits, and for the Twins, 5. 2 ball, ground ball, first base side, grabbed by Cusick. He runs to the bag. He gets there at a happy. And the 6th inning is over, but the Indians tie it with 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and nobody left. We have played 6 in the stadium. The score, Minnesota 3 and Cleveland 3.
You know, listening to Major League Baseball on CWJ is a great way to follow the national pastime. If you really appreciate the game and the players' talent, at least once in a while you should see a game in person. Those of us at CWJ would like you to see the exciting Cleveland Indians on us during our Tribe Ticket Giveaway. All you have to do is send us your name, address, and phone number. And every member entry in Friday during the noon period will draw a name to win 2 tickets to an Indians home game of your choice. Your name is drawn, your biggest game to the mail that same day. And we won't stick you out in the left field bleachers, but in box seats, so you'll be right next to the action. The winner sends your name, address, and phone number on a postcard or letter to Tribe Ticket, CWJ, P.O. Box 373, Johnstown, Ohio, 43031. Again, that's Tribe Ticket, P.O. Box 373, Johnstown, Ohio, 43031. To win 2 box seat tickets to a Cleveland Indians baseball game of your choice. Entries are limited to 1 per week, so enter today and let CWJ take you out to the ball game.
Well, the night games in baseball in the National League, the Dodgers have a 3-1 lead over Montreal at the end of 4. Roden against Twitchell. Yeager is homered for the Dodgers. Philadelphia with a 5-2 lead over Atlanta with the Phillies batting in the 8th. Maddox put that one on top for Philadelphia with a home run. Houston has come back with 4 in the 4th to tie up the St. Louis Cardinals at 4-4 at the end of 4 innings of play. And in the American League, Chicago 1, Texas nothing at the end of 2. That's Steve Stone against Doc Hellers. Up in Montreal, they have now played the 5th inning, and Montreal comes up with a run, so it is 3-2 L.A. at the end of 5. And the Phillies add another run in the 8th inning of play, and they take a 6-2 lead over Atlanta into the 9th inning. And now Enos Cabell has hit a home run for Houston in the 5th inning of play, and that is going to put Houston on top of the St. Louis Cardinals. Last night, Houston rallied for a win, 11-7. Tonight, they were down 4-0, and have now taken at least a 5-4 lead in their ball game in St. Louis. Rob Wilfong, the number 9 man in the Minnesota order in the top of the 7th. This one's tied up at 3. Thornton at first, Kuiper at second, Verizon at short, Feld at third, Grubb and left, Manning in center, Dave in right, Hasty catching, and right-hander Rick Wise at the mound. Wind up by Wise of the first pitch to the left-hand batter, and Wilfong takes high, ball 1. Wilfong has bounced to second and walked and scored in the 3-run 5th inning. That has been the only real trouble spot for Wise. Weiniger walked with 1 out, a single by Powell, a walk to Wilfong, a 2-run single by Norwood, then another walk, and a fielder's choice brought home the 3rd run. Breaking ball for a strike, and the count evens at 1-1 on Wilfong. Top of the order, Willie Norwood is next. Indians picked up a run in the 5th on a double by Manning and a single by Dave, then a 2-run shot by Grubb, and the 6th tied the game. 1-1 pitch. High fly ball to center field. Manning was pulled way over into left center, goes galloping over into right center. He's right there with Dave, but Manning makes the catch. 1 out. Top of the order, Willie Norwood. He singled in the 1st inning and was doubled up on a fly ball. Well, Gene Mauch is out now talking to the home plate umpire, Dale Ford, about something. And whatever it is, Ford says, I don't want to talk about it anymore. And Gene Mauch wants to talk about it. And if he talks about it much longer, it's going to be bye-bye Gene Mauch. Well, Mauch has had his say, and now turns, and if he comes back, I think he's going to be gone. Dale Ford, mask on. Well, Mauch had one little quick addendum, and then turns and hustles away. On the panogram, it says, who will win this argument? A, the umpire, B, the umpire, C, the umpire, or D, all of the above. Very good. Norwood, the batter. He singled and was doubled up in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, and doubled home 2 runs in the 5th. Swing and a foul back on the screen, strike 1. Indians 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The Twins 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. Now Wise wants to change baseballs with the home plate umpire. That home run by John Grubb The Indians 11th here at the stadium. Opponents have hit only 8 in the 24 games played. That's an average of less than a home run a game. The only American League park where that has happened. Pitch is low. 1 ball, 1 strike to the right-hand batting Willie Norwood. The most home runs per game in the American League have been at Boston Fenway Park and at Milwaukee's County Stadium. Pitch, drive, right side, fading. It's a foul ball and into the seats behind the bullpen dugout in right field, and somebody out there made a nice catch. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is the top of the 7th, and the Indians and the Twins are tied at 3. Rick Wise has gone the distance against the combination of Roger Erickson and Mike Marshall. Wind up by Wise and the 1-2 pitch to the right-hand batter, and Norwood takes the fastball high to even the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kyle Field coaching at third, Tony Oliva at first base. Wind up, 2-2 pitch. Norwood hits a high fly ball to left. Rubb going back on the ball. He's got the room and the ball. 2 out. Norwood flies to left. Roy Smalley singled to right field in the first inning, slide to left field in the third. It was intentionally walked below the bases in the fifth. Fielder's choice off the bat of Dan Ford brought in the third Minnesota run. At that time, it gave the Twins a 3-0 lead, a lead they have not been able to hold. The Indians and the Twins now knotted at 3, and we're in the top of the 7th. So Smalley 1 for 3 on the night, make it actually 1 for 2, and hitting .255. Pitch is a strike of an ease. Breaking ball, strike 1. In the bullpen for the Indians, Paxton and Manji. Wind up, and the strike 1 pitch. Curve ball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Paxton, the right-hander, Manji, the lefty. 2 outs, top of the 7th, game tied at 3. Wind up by Wise, and the 1-1 pitch to the left-hand batter. Smalley swings and misses on a breaking ball. 1 and 2. That was that slider that really takes a quick cut. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And again, Wise is ready to work. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Smalley. Outside. Count evens 2-2. Wilfong slide to center. Norwood is slide to left. And the count on Smalley, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Game tied at 3 in the top of the 7th. Wind up by Wise. And the pitch to Smalley. Low and inside, 3-2. Tomorrow is a 2:05 ball game here at the stadium. Hood against Ferrum. Wind up in the 3-2 pitch to Smalley. Bounces it foul to the coach's box at first, down to the ball boy, Mike Minch. Nice backhand pickup. 3-2. Paxton and Manji continue to work in the bullpen. Roy Smalley gets back in again. Wise ready with the payoff pitch to the left-hand batter. And here it is. Hit hard, first baseman Thornton can't get it. Foul ball down the first base line. Manji in the bullpen, still 3-2.
Just outside the line.
And Smalley will come slowly back to the plate to retrieve his bat. And they put the foul ball up on the center field scoreboard. They give you a big egg, it cracks open, a little birdie pops out, and it says foul ball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wind up by Wise. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Smalley. Strike 3. He knew it. Breaking ball to the outside corner. Smalley caught looking, and it is 3 up, 3 down in the 7th. That's the 3rd strikeout for Rick Wise. And he puts the Twins away with nothing across. So we have arrived at the home half of the 7th inning. And on this Saturday evening, you Indian fans, wherever you happen to be, find your feet for the 7th inning stretch. The score at the stadium, the Indians 3 and the Twins 3.
This is old Jack. This thing is Chevrolet in Mount Vernon. Well, you don't have baseball, hot dogs, and apple pie, but we play the best darn cars and trucks built. Chevrolet. And then whether you want a nice new car or truck, we have them in several makes and models, 50, 60 to choose from. So whatever your needs may be, we have it or we can get it. Deal with your friends here. This time the Chevrolet, 510 Harcourt Road, 236 over Mount Vernon.
Drop, this is loaded. There it goes. Home run, the bird blown, and it comes to a hit. But it comes to a victory. Ow! And if you import worm disease or peptide plant food or animal products, it can start an epidemic. So it's illegal. The free universal booklet tells you the law before you travel abroad, like the Traveler 6 USDA Washington PA 250 or ask your travel agent.
Verizon, the number 9 man in the Indians order, will go first against Mike Marshall in the 7th inning. Tommy Sponson the third and the short. Here's the attendance. 16,048 here on a Saturday night. And tomorrow there'll be more than that from G.E. alone on his Sunday afternoon with the Twins.
Well, they have over 18,000 coming. Got a nice note here from Mike Pitt. Or Pats, I guess it is. His wife, Lynn Marie, was going to be at the game tonight, but she had to go to the hospital for some problems. He hopes it's not serious. He says she's crazy about the Indians and wishes she could be here. And we wish Lynn Marie Pats could be here, too, but hope they're coming along well.
Tommy Verizon steps in. The look in for the sign by Mike Marshall. And here's the windup and the first pitch. Verizon hits the drive down the left field line. It is a fair ball. Into the corner. Cut out by the left fielder. Verizon, big turn at first, and he goes back with a base hit.
Good piece of base running by Tommy because he rounded first like he was going for two all the way. And he alertly saw that the ball was going to be fielded quick when he slammed on the brakes.
9 hits for the Tribe. The first off Marshall. Brings up the top of the order, Paul Dade. He has bounced to short to second and single to right, driving in the Indians' first run in the 5th inning, extending his hitting streak to 9 games in a row, and Paul's now hitting .297. And the White Sox are rolling again. They lead Texas 3-0 in the 3rd.
They have played some ball in the last 2 weeks.
12 out of their last 13 ball games. The strike and the pitch. PD to bunt, out in front of the plate, picked up by Cuttage, throws high to first, and safe. Dave collides with Wilfong. The ball rolling down the right field line. Dave gets up, Verizon's coming home, he scores, and out at second base on the pickup and the throw back in.
Oh, the right fielder finally grabbed the ball. Paul Dade and Wilfong collided. They both went down. Wilfong was really slow getting up. Rocky kept urging Paul to get up and run. He finally did. And all the time, Verizon was running, and he scores all the way from first.
The sacrifice and an error on the third baseman's throw. And then Dade is retired 9-6.
Right.
There is no run batted in. But the run counts, folks. It's 4-3. Now Dwayne Kuiper, the batter. He is 1 for 2 tonight, also with a walk. Hitting .240. Pitch to Dwayne, swinging a foul back, strike 1. So a very costly error here in the 7th inning, and the Indians have jumped on it for a run. Boy, Tommy Verizon was chugging around third base like it was the Oklahoma land rush. Pitch. Kuiper gets out of the way of a pitch to Slow, and the count is 1-1. Well, the Indians have a 4-3 lead in the 7th inning. Buddy Bell on deck. Marshall lines up. 1-1 pitch. Kuiper reaches out, pokes the fly ball to left. The left fielder playing very shallow and left. Norwood makes the grab. 2 out. This brings to bat Buddy Bell, who singled to center field in the 1st inning, slide to right in the 3rd, and was safe for the fielder's choice in the 5th. Hitting .301. So Verizon with a single to left. And a sacrifice bunt by Paul Dade, and when Cubbage threw badly to first and Wilfong and Dade collided, the ball got away. Verizon never stopped. He came all the way around to score, then Dade picked himself up, tried to go to second, and they threw him out. But he takes the curveball outside, ball one. Four to 3 Cleveland. Lined up by Marshall. The pitch to Buddy. Low. Ball 2-0. Home half of the 7th. 2 out. Marshall cranks up that 2-0 pitch. That is a straight at the knees, and the count is 2-1. Here comes the 2-1 pitch to Buddy. Check swing. Flag called on a breaking ball, 2-2. Cusick at first, Wilfong at second, Smalley at short, Cubbage at third, Norwood, Ford, and Powell left to right. Weiniger catching, right-hander Marshall pitching, and Bell swinging. Bouncing ball. Wilfong down toward first, picks it off, throws over to Cusick, and the side is retired. 1 run unearned, 1 hit, 1 error, nobody left. We've played 7 at the stadium. The score, Cleveland 4, Minnesota 3.
Do it when you realize but do it in a charge from 50 yards in heaven. The 1970 Giants managed the best of it. He didn't realize the best thing. It's really a personal approach to being excited. The Giants has to use their own private island. The most company this year's line is the 78-yard diplomat, a car that fits everyone to the team. And of course, the Giants fans will account for themselves, even though it's 50 yards, 5100 each name to Edmonds. Talked about what it would mean to his father. You don't have to tell him here in this
Houston has come back from a 4-0 deficit to take a 5-4 lead at St. Louis at the end of 5. White Sox 3-0 over Texas in the 3rd. Atlanta batting in the 9th. Philadelphia sailing 6-2. Dodgers 3-2 over Montreal in the 6th. Still to come, Boston at Seattle and New York at California tonight. This is the top of the 8th. Jim Kern and Sid Mangio in the bullpen for the Indians. Rick Wise will face Ford, Cubbage, and Adams. The Twins picked up 3 runs in the 5th, hitting a double with the bases loaded. Brought home 2 off the bat of Woody Norwood. Then later with the bases loaded, a fielder's choice by Ford. That made it 3-0. And Dade singled home a run in the 5th. Grubb slapped a 2-run homer in the 6th. And a single by Verizon, a sacrifice by Dade, and a throwing error brought Verizon home, and the Indians now lead 4-3 in the 8th. Wind up, and the first pitch. A rough on the ground. Bell dives. Can't get it by him into left field. Base hit. Ford hustles to first base, takes the turn, throw comes into Kuiper, and here comes Jeff Torborg. Ford slapping the ball sharply into left field. And the call is to the bullpen for Jim Kern. So, Rick Wise worked 7 innings plus 1 man in the 8th. Gives up 6 base hits thus far, 3 runs, all earned. He walked 4, 1 intentionally, and struck out 3. And the new pitcher will be Jim Kern. And we'll tell you more after this timeout.
the second straight night comes on. Last night, he was spectacular in picking up a save. Kern making his 18th appearance. He's won 5, he's lost 1, he has 4 saves. His earned run average is 4.38. In 24 and 2/3 innings, the 29-year-old right-hander has allowed 23 hits, walked 14, and he has struck out 26. Jim Kern, who in his last several appearances has really been putting it all together. Jimmy Kern taking on the Twins there with the Indians on top. 4-3 in the 8th inning, a man on, nobody out.
Mike Cubbage has flied to center, lined to first, and struck out in 3 previous at-bats. Stretch by Kearney. First pitch to Cubbage, swing and a chop foul. That knocked Cassie back on his heels, and the count is strike 1.
In his last 8 appearances, beginning of May 9th, Kern has won 3 and saved 2 games. And in this string, his pitching totals go like this: 13 and 2/3 innings, striking out 17, allowing just 2 runs.
As Cubbage at bat. Now hitting at .310. 4 to first base. Nobody out of the 8th. A stretch and a throw to first base and Ford back to the bag. Manji continues in the bullpen for the Indians. Adams on deck. Turn the stretch. And the strike 1 pitch. Cubbage wraps the ball back to Kuiper. To Verizon 1. Back to base low. 2. Thornton knocks it down. Can't stay with it. The head man is gone. And the relay puts Cubbage aboard. There'll be no error. The head man is out at second base. 4-6. 1 down. Adams, the batter. He has bounced to the pitcher, to the shortstop, and hit a fly ball to center field. Glenn Adams, 222 batting average. He's the designated hitter. Or is that person that wrote you the other day would want us to say the designated batter.
Designated batter, that's what they said.
Stretch in the pitch. Pitch is low, ball 1.
Gentlemen said we should not refer to them as hitters when they come to home plate until they have gotten a base hit.
I can think of some guys, even when they get a base hit, you shouldn't refer to them as hitters. And the 1-0 pitch. Drive to left, up in the air. Grubb going back on this one. Stops and waits. He makes the catch. 2 out.
That's like the old story, Joe. If that's the case, you should never refer to it as the foul line, because the foul line is really the fair line. That is true. All parts of the foul line are fair.
Well, technically, the gentleman is probably right, but like I said, when they put in a pinch runner, he's not a pinch runner, he's a pinch standee. He doesn't run until he runs. Leininger.
I think you better get off that subject.
Yes. 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. It's the pitch. Foul ball back. Strike 1. Indians are leading 4-3 in the 8th inning. Paxton has joined Manji in the Indians bullpen. Put against Merriman the 3rd game tomorrow afternoon at 2:05. The stretch. On a strike 1 pitch. Swinging a foul back on the screen. Strike 2. Twins got 3 in the 5th. The Indians have spent the next 3 innings taking the lead. 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, and 1 in the 7th. Then Liston gets the side. Takes his head. 3rd time. 4th time. Time call. We talked to Jim about that on the pregame show tonight, and he said a lot of it is decoy, and he said he likes to get the batter standing and thinking about all kinds of things, and he said oftentimes the catcher and he are all together on what they're going to do, but he'll continue to shake his head or make some other kind of emotion.
The catch one time, I did that, took off all the signs that I had. He finally yelled out, he says, "You don't have any other pitches."
It's a 2-strike pitch to Leininger. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Jim Kern fans Leininger, and the inning is over. No runs and a hit with a man left. And at the end of 7 1/2 innings of play, it's still Cleveland 4, Minnesota 3.
Do it how many ways you want to, but do it in a dodge from Super Dodge in heaven. The 1970 Giants managed the best of it. They didn't need Dodge the best. It's really a personal approach to using seven. The Dodge has to use your own private island. The most confident in the line is the 78 Dodge Diplomat, a car that fits everyone to the team. And of course, the Dodge belongs to the constant themselves. Even though it's Super Dodge, 5100 East Main, Columbus.
This is Joel Gray. As an actor, I'm called upon to play many roles, but there's one role we should all play, the role of concerned human being. Today, more than half the people on Earth suffer life-destroying poverty. There are millions of people all over the world who still need the means to help themselves. In the American tradition, help needy people free themselves from hunger, poverty, and despair.
Please send a check or an order to care. Box 976, Columbus 43296.
Bump Wills has homered in the third inning for Texas with nobody on, but the White Sox still leading the Rangers 3-1 at the end of 3 innings of play. Here it's the 8th, and Mike Marshall will look at Thornton, Grubb, and Cox. Indians with a 4-3 lead. Scores this afternoon, and these are finals. The Giants 2-1 over the Mets. The Padres 10-8 over the Cubs. The Reds 6-4 over Pittsburgh. In the American League, Kansas City 6-3 over Detroit. Milwaukee 5-0 over Toronto. Baltimore 1-0 over Oakland. I'll have all of the details of those games on the 10th inning show. Andre Thornton steps in. Thornton is lined to short, popped to the pitcher, single to left, and rode home on Johnny Grubb's blast in the 6th inning of play. It was that hit that tied the ball game. Mike Marshall in relief of Roger Erickson. Marshall looks in. Here's the wind-up of the first pitch to Thornton. And he takes a strike up an ease, strike one. Called over in Philadelphia. The Phillies beat Atlanta 6-2. Top the winner now 3-0. And with that, the Phillies on percentage points move into first place in the National League East over the Cubs. 60, Thornton is low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mike Marshall. Ready? Delivers. Thornton takes low and inside. 2 balls to the strike. Thornton's batting average, 263. Marshall ready. Winds up. 2-1 pitch to Andy Thornton. Thornton takes low. Now 3-1. Home half of the 8th. The Indians lead 4-3. They've out-hit the Twins 9-6. There's been 1 error in the game charged to Minnesota, and it was a biggie because it allowed the lead run to come home in the 7th. Marshall all set. Cranks up the 3-1 offering to Andre Thornton. It is high, ball 4. Thornton walks to start the 8th. First walk given up by Marshall, and the third by Minnesota pitcher. Johnny Grubb, a walk, a fly ball to left, and he slapped his 6th home run of the year with a man on in the 6th inning of play. And that tied up the ball game. Ted Cox on deck. I would take from that note on the Fanagram that Marcia and Chuck are going to be married tomorrow. It says, good luck, Marcia and Chuck, happy tomorrow. Pitch to Grubb, going to butt, pull the bat back, a strike. One around the outside corner, strike one. Cubbage on the grass at third. Johnny steps back, now steps back in. Marshall pulls down on the bill of the cap, looks in, here's his stretch, strike 1 pitch, Grubb again, bunt. Third base side of home plate, good bunt, pick up by Weiner to throw to first base to Will Thorne, Grubb out of the sacrifice, Thornton to second base. That was a very nice bunt.
Well done.
Let's see, somewhere here in my... That was a very nice bunt.
Well done.
Let's see, somewhere here in my statistics.
The nice ball for 1, 2. Indians now have tried to sacrifice on 24 occasions. Now make that, let's see, 32 plus 3 is 35, and they've been successful at it 23 times. Somebody just threw some deep cushions out in right field. About five of them, and had some fouls. I don't need those right now, folks. Well, now Mike Lynch, the bat boys, ball boys, is out there and picked up the. One thing, those cushions travel a long way. You know that? I don't know where they came from. Obviously, they had something up the deck somewhere, and they went a long way. There was nobody in the lower portion of the upper deck that could have thrown them. At least they're not there anymore. And be that as it may, with one out, Thornton at second base, and Teddy Cox 1 for 3 on that, had a blue hit in the sixth inning. 6 to 10 as a strike of an East strike one. Rick Manning on deck. Mike Marshall, he's designed up some dirt on his pitching hand. Goes down in the middle of his cap, Thornton at second base. The strike and the pitch to Teddy Cox. Cox pops the fly ball into center field. Coming on is Nova, going back out Wilfong, make it Dan Ford, the center fielder, that makes the call on the catch. And Thornton goes back to it. Manning has double to center, double to left, scored on a great hit, and then he tried to bunt and pop to the pitcher. He turned it into a double play back in the sixth inning. Liquid in 258. After his second double, the batting average was a 260, and that's the highest for the spin this year. Another double here, the Indians could have very big insurance run going to the ninth. That's by Marshall. And then he steps back. Indians lead 4-3 in the home half of the eighth inning. Stand by along the network line will be identifying shortly. 6 to Manning, high inside ball one. A walk to sacrifice and a pop fly to center field. 2 outs and a runner at second base in the eighth. Moving by 1 on the good side of the scoreboard. The strike by Marshall. The look back in the pitch. Manning swings and misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, that's pretty good center back there. Rick was much more aggressive now at the back than he did early in the year. Last week or so, he was waving out front and really it was good vicious swing. Look in for the side. Marshall nod. Catch. Look back to Thornton. 1-1 pitch. Manning hits one on the ground to the shortstop Foley. Gobbles it up and throws. Manning out by a step. And the side is retired. No runs, no hits for walk, and a man left. We are going to the ninth, and it's stored in the stadium. Cleveland 4, Minnesota 3.
Facts about Pacific services. It works with the border and 4 and 70 foreign nations. TRS is victims of natural and man-made tragedies. Here protect the Hindu world peace. Support Pacific services. TRS, YAL,
At the top of the ninth, Jim Kern will try to save it for Rick Wise.
game in Philadelphia tonight. He is probably the fastest worker along with Randy Jones in baseball. 1 hour and 49 minutes, a 6-2 ball game. How about those Expos? They just tied up the Dodgers 3-3 at the end of 6. Here's the windup and the pitch to Cusick. It is a fastball, strike of an strike one. Cusick is bounced to short, struck out, and swing to the left. Here in the ninth, 4-3, Cleveland. Jim Kern trying to put it away. Here's the windup and the pitch to Cusick. He takes outside. The count is even. And a ball and a strike. Kern is ready and delivers. That's high. 2 balls in a strike. Well, we still have not identified things, and we will do that as soon as we get a break. Cusick runs to Stiamena, getting a 2-20. Kern lines up to 2-1 pitch. That is low. 3-1. Austin Powell on deck. Base goes behind the mound. That's the forehead. Just the shot. Looks down at the baseball, plays the rubber, looks in, here's the windup, and the 3-1 pitch to Craig Cusick. That's swing, ball 4. Cusick walks, and now we're past the station identification. This is the Cleveland Indians Baseball Network. Well, folks, you're not going to believe this, but that wasn't a walk. They belatedly checked with the first base umpire, Joe Brinkman, and Joe says he went too far in that check swing. It is a strike, and that brings Cusick back now with a 3-2 count. Surprise, surprise. Well, let's see what happens in the rerun. Stretch, 3-2 pitch. Cusick fouls it out of play to the right. And it is still 3 balls and 2 strikes. As they say, it's never over till the last man is out. Sometimes you got to check with a first base umpire before you know for sure. So we've got a 3-2 count. Paxton the right-hander, Monge the lefty in the bullpen. A stretch. Payoff pitch to Cusick, swinging a foul back. Still 3-2. 9th inning. Twins jumped on top 3-0 in the 5th, and the Indians have come back for a 4-3 lead in the 9th. Kenny rubbing up the baseball behind the mound. Ready to work again. Stretches. And here comes the 3-2 pitch to Cusick. High fly ball to center field. This one could bring rain. Manning waiting for it to come down. It does, and he grabs it. 1 out on the 9th. The batter, Austin Powell. Powell has bounced to the shortstop, single to right, bounced to the second baseman. 1-3 in the ball game. Now hitting at .216. Rob Wilfong is on deck. Although I've noticed that Rod Carew has done a little. Yeah, I thought that was him, but now I see he's not. He's over at the end of the dugout. Still has that right hand very tightly bandaged. Well, here's a pitch to Powell, and he drills the first one off to the left. That's a low shot right into the loges down above the Minnesota bullpen. Strike 1. We are in the 9th. And the Indians with 1 out. Nobody on for the Twins. And Jim Kern stretches. It's strike 1 pitch. Powell takes one that goes by everybody right back to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike. 10th inning show. We'll have all the scores of all the games. We'll be chatting with one of the stars of tonight's contest, and there are certainly several who could qualify. Jim Kern looks in and delivers. High, 2 balls and a strike.
Huskin Powell. Ready. Stretch. 2-1 pitch. Inside. He had to straighten up to get away from it, and the count is 3-1. Rocky Colavito, Harvey Haddix, and Jeff Torborg on the dugout steps watching Kern in the ninth. We've got Paxton and Monge in the bullpen. 3-1 pitch to Powell. He hits a line drive to left field, a base hit. On comes Johnny Grubb as Powell turns first and hangs on. This will bring up Rich Childs. Childs to bat for Wilfong. That is the first hit off Kern, the 7th by the Minnesota Twins. Second hit tonight for Huskin Powell. Rich Childs, the batter. Childs, a left-hand hitter. We saw him in last night's ball game in a similar role, a pinch hitter. Childs hitting .214 with 6 runs batted in. Pitch to him is low, ball 1. In last night's game, Childs batted for Bombo Rivera in the 7th, and Kearney struck him out. Now Jeff Torborg pops out of the dugout, and he's going to go to the mound, have a chat with Kern and Ron Hesse. There's 1 out and 1 on here in the 9th inning of play, and the Indians and the Twins are going at it at the stadium. For a crowd of better than 16,000 fans. And the afternoon ball game starts here at 2:05. Torborg has had his say and heads for the dugout. As he comes back behind the plate, the count is 1-0 on the left-hand batting Rich Childs. Wilfong, while he was in there tonight, went 0 for 2, walked once and scored in the 5th inning when the Twins scored their 3 runs. Stretch by Kern, throw to first, and hopping back to the bag is Huskin Powell. Willie Norwood on deck. We got some action in the bullpen for the Minnesota Twins. Pitch outside, ball 2, 2-0. The stretch by Kern, 2-0 pitch. Pop foul, third base side, Bell over, no chance. The Twins in the street. The action down in the Twins bullpen with second baseman Bobby Randall loosening up. With Wilfong out of the lineup, they'll need a new second baseman should they go to the last of the ninth. And of course, we are all in hopes that will not be the case. 2 balls and a strike with 1 out. Childs at bat. The stretch. Look to first. Pitch to Childs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Boy, he just smoked one by him that time. Rich Childs, an outfielder, 6 feet, 175. From Davis, California, with 264 with the Twins last year. Left-hand batter. The stretch by Kern. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to the left-hand batter. Childs, strike first, throw to first, and just back to Huskin Powell. Childs called out on strike. That is the second strikeout for Kern. 2 outs in the ninth, and it brings up Willie Norwood. Norwood has singled, walked, doubled, and fly to left. His double drove in 2 of the 3 Twins runs back in the 5th inning of play. He comes to bat now with a runner at first base and 2 outs in the ninth. And the Indians 1 out away from a victory. Here's the stretch and a pitch to Norwood. He takes a fastball, strike 1. Huskin Powell at first base and 2 outs in the ninth. A stretch by Kern. And the strike 1 pitch to the right-hand batter. Norwood swing and a miss, strike 2. Well, the temperature at the stadium has risen by about 5 degrees on those last 2 pitches. 0-2 count on Willie Norwood. A moment hitting .247 on a 2-for-3 night. Kearney shakes off 1 and ready with the next. Stretch. 0-2 pitch to Norwood. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. The game's over. 2 runs and a hit. The final score. Cleveland 4, Twins 3. We'll wrap it up in a moment.